I never made one of my discoveries through the process of rational thinking. I'd rather be an optimist and a fool than a pessimist and right. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Wisdom is not a product of schooling but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. However rare true love may be, it is less so than true friendship. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is at all comprehensible. You can never solve a problem on the level on which it was created. The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. What a sad era when it is easier to smash an atom than a prejudice. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. A true genius admits that he or she knows nothing. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you mine are still greater. The hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. The revolution introduced me to art, and in turn, art introduced me to the revolution. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. Try not to become a man of success. Rather become a man of value. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. It is not that I'm so smart, but I stay with the questions much longer. Everything must be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. The best way to cheer yourself is to cheer somebody else up. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. I must be willing to give up what I am in order to become what I will be. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. The tragedy of life is what dies inside a man while he lives. We cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking that created them. I want to know God's thoughts, the rest are mere details. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be changed from one form to another. I never teach my pupils, I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. Student is not a container you have to fill but a torch you have to light up. The only sure way to avoid making mistakes is to have no new ideas. Life isn't worth living, unless it is lived for someone else. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy and creative expression and knowledge. Nationalism is an infantile thing. It is the measles of mankind. An empty stomach is not a good political advisor. At least once a day, allow yourself the freedom to think and dream for yourself. Solitude is painful when one is young, but delightful when one is more mature. What really interests me is whether God had any choice in the creation of the world. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy? Never do anything against conscience, even if the state demands it. Logic will get you from A to Z, imagination will get you everywhere. Small is the number of them that see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. Intelligence is not the ability to store information, but to know where to find it. You do not really understand something unless you can explain it to your grandmother. Everyone must become their own person, however frightful that may be. One cannot alter a condition with the same mindset that created it in the first place. To punish me for my contempt for authority, fate made me an authority myself. Always do what's right, This will gratify some and astonish the rest.